India has a huge problem with waste. Housing more than 17% of the world's population, it's a critical issue that can't be ignored. Over half of the plastic manufactured in India is used for packaging. Being so cheap to produce, and with no real recycling infrastructure available, plastic bags make up the bulk of the rubbish.
This cow is really, really full and very uncomfortable. Just lightly touching her tummy. She kicks, she doesn't like it, it's sore, it hurts. Poor girl. It'd be brilliant to try and get that plastic out of her.
As we prepared the cow for surgery, I administered some nerve blocks to provide pain relief during the operation. But her stomach was so swollen that she was going to be uncomfortable until I removed the cause of her bloat.
Just push on her. Thanks.
With Nigel's help to keep her steady and stop her kicking, I made my first incision.
We're almost in now.
I had to stitch the stomach wall to the outer layer of muscle, as there was a potential risk of contamination if her digestive acids were allowed to spill into her abdominal cavity.
Look at that. This rumen is so full, absolutely chock-a-block.
Although the poor girl had had lots of pain relief, she was so uncomfortable, and everyone lent a hand to steady her so I could cut down in the rumen and have a look inside.
Now that's fixed on there really well, so we're not going to lose that stomach as we empty it out. It's not going to pull away from the stitches. Now is the time of truth. Let's make an incision and get in there. Oh. Oh. A smell. Fermented plastic. Revolting. This is so hard, so difficult to pull this out. Just knots and knots of stuff. Oh goodness me. We're going to have to do little bits at a time. Look at that, all of that is plastic.
Mixed with all the fermentation juices of her stomach, the plastic had melded together in huge clumps, and it was a mission to pull it out.
So much plastic, it's totally full. And it's a real job just to get this stuff out because it seems to be all stuck to the inside of the stomach.
With perseverance, I finally got beneath a big matted knot, and from there, it just kept coming and coming. It was far more than I expected, and must have been building up for months.
Look at this. All of this here, plastic. All that yellow, just plastic. Amazing. And that's just a tiny part of what we're going to get out of her. I've never seen anything like this. It's astounding. This poor animal choking on plastic. I think it speaks for itself. I'm getting my hand completely inside the cow's stomach because I want to make sure I get every single bit of knotted plastic out. If you're going to do a job, we've got to do it properly, no matter how disgusting. Now, cows' stomachs, they depend on bacteria and a certain pH in order to work. So if I take all the contents out, the cow will go into shock and the stomach won't contract or work properly. Not that it's working very well at the moment, full of plastic. But the idea is that I'm going to wring this out and keep these important juices and these bacteria, and I'm actually going to put them back into the cow to kickstart its digestion. And these juices have to go back into the rumen now, and the rumen is a powerhouse for the cow, and it needs bacteria within it to work.
After refueling the cow with its own vital stomach acids, the final part of the surgery was to stitch her back up and disinfect the wound.
Probably need more than a bit of blue spray to beat the infection in there, but we'll put on some antibiotics and she'll be fine. Let's see how much plastic was in her. So this bucket weighs 3 kilos and that is looking like 17, which means we've removed 14 kilos worth of plastic from that poor cow's stomach. Now, we're not going to change the world with this kind of thing. That's tip of the iceberg, and we've got to keep that cow now away from the rubbish, or she'll just go back up there and just eat more plastic, and we won't have done any good at all. But it just goes to show that really the waste that we produce as humans, and we just throw all this plastic down, that doesn't just look and smell horrible, but it affects everything. It affects all the animals around us as well. And that's just heartbreaking.